Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, I'll be talking about the Washington Commanders running backs, which running backs I think will make the final roster, any surprise cuts or additions that the Washington Commanders could make to the final running back room. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well, so you never miss a video. Let's get right into it. So on vacation, so a little bit of a different setup. Got the Nats hat on here yesterday. Nats had a big walk-off win. Robert Hassel's major league debut, but we're talking about the Commanders here. So let's talk about this running back room. So they didn't make a lot of additions. They didn't sign any free agents. They, added in the draft, but they didn't add anyone major, in the first day or, first 2 days or early on day 3. They added, Jackery, Merritt, Krosky, or Jackery Krosky Merritt. Sorry, I always get it confused. JCM, or as he likes to be called, Bill. And they re-signed Jeremy McNichols. They still have Austin Ekeler, who signed a 2-year deal. And then they also have Brian Robinson. So that's kind of what the running back room looks like right now for the Washington Commanders. They also have some other guys, Chris Rodriguez. They've got some things, they've got some other guys that have a chance to make the roster. Michael Wiley, who was an undrafted free agent last year, who I thought, and a lot of people thought, had a really good camp and preseason. He's on the roster. But obviously, the main guys are, Brian Robinson, Austin Ekeler, and then Bill, JCM, who they just drafted out of Arizona and played at another, at least, I think, 2 colleges. And I think he has a really good chance to be productive for the Commanders this year. I don't know how. We're just going to have to wait and see. Some running backs really have it, and they, running back is a position where you can come in on day 1 and produce. So hopefully that is the case with Bill, with JCM. But it could not be the case. So we're just, again, going to have to wait and see how he looks in training camp. And, in the preseason, if he's taking stats with the 1s, 2s, or 3s, or at the 4s, he's a 7th round pick. He's not guaranteed to make the roster. He has a good chance to make it. But, again, no guarantees. He's competing with McNichols and Chris Rodriguez. And, those are the main guys. Michael Wiley, he's cool, but I don't think he's going to make the roster. I think he's a prime practice squad candidate for the Washington Commanders. But overall, this room's okay. I still think it could use some improvement. You got Brian Robinson, which at this point, I don't know if I want to say a jag, just a guy. But, he's not special. I do want to preface that by saying that before, because the thing is with him, he has been very injury prone since he got in the league, just with minor injuries, hamstring, knee stuff, maybe an ankle injury as well. And, last year before his injury, he was playing really, really well. So I do want to say, let's give him one more chance this year. Let's see what he can do early on in the season. But, he's definitely an NFL player, an NFL back, but I don't know if he's a starter. He's more of a complimentary back, in my opinion. If you have a really good back, like if you have a Jahmyr Gibbs type, I think Brian Robinson is a good, complimentary back to him. But as a main back, I don't know if that's the move. Ekeler, I do like him, again, as a complimentary back. He's not a star, but he's a good, side piece running back. He is a good receiving back. And honestly, he was decent as a runner last year. He made some big plays. He made a lot of big plays as a receiver. So I want to continue to see him in the receiving game. And, he did some kick returns as well. I don't want to see him do that, even though he did well at it, just because of injury concerns. But, he is still a good player. And I think he's underrated not amongst Commanders fans necessarily, but NFL fans. I think I saw, them on Twitter or YouTube, whatever, saying he's terrible. And yeah, he's not, an elite fantasy guy like he was maybe, 2-3 years ago, which isn't that long ago. But, he's still a good NFL player, very productive, good culture guy, and a guy that a lot of the guys in the locker room like. So I think that keeping Austin Ekeler around is a good idea. And, he's under contract. So, an easy choice for them to make. So, those two are the main guys. And if Bill, JCM, the rookie they drafted, if he shows up and steps up, then he could be that number one back. But again, I don't, you're not necessarily banking on a 7th-round rookie to start right away for you. But I really liked what I saw from him, in his Arizona, the one game he played, and some of his, I think it was New Mexico State, not completely sure, wherever he played before, he did a really good job, and I like the things I saw from him, and I think he has a chance to be a good running back in this league. So they'll give him chances. I think Jeremy McNichols is a really good depth piece to have, can play on special teams, good special teams running back, great culture guy, and he can do a lot of the things that Ekeler can do, just at a lower level if he needs to. If Austin Ekeler does go down with injury, which hopefully doesn't happen, knock on wood, but he can pass protect, he can catch balls out of the backfield, and he can run a little bit. Is he elite at any of those things? Not necessarily, but he can get the job done, and he made some big plays last year. I think it was either the Falcons game or the Bucks game. He made a nice either 4th down conversion or 3rd down conversion. He made some big plays for the Commanders last year. Is he a stud? No, but he's a good player, and he was a part of the run last year, and I think they'll probably keep him. So my guess on the running backs is gonna be Brian Robinson, Austin Ekeler, JCM, Bill, the rookie, and then Jeremy McNichols, which leaves Chris Rodriguez and Michael Wiley as the odd man out. I do really like Chris Rodriguez. I think he should have been getting carries more last year. So if they really like JCM, and which I'm going to use that nickname a little bit. I know he likes being called Bill. We'll use both of those names. But, if he's doing really well, maybe they decide, all right, let's see if we can get anything for Brian Robinson. Maybe we can trade him. If we trade him, then maybe we keep Chris Rodriguez. I really like Chris Rodriguez. If it was me, I would keep him on the team. I don't think they will. And if they don't, I think they'll be able to find keep him on the practice squad. But again, I think he's a really solid running back. He's an NFL player for sure. He made big plays last year. Whenever, he got the opportunity, he made the plays. And, I think that, they need to find a way to keep him on the roster. If that means maybe moving on from Brian Robinson and getting some assets, I wouldn't oppose to it, because I think, you can find better, running backs than Brian Robinson. And honestly, I'm not saying Chris Rodriguez is better than Robinson, but we don't know. And if you give Rodriguez the opportunities you gave Robinson, who knows what he does with it. He's a grinder for sure. And, he showed some things last year. So they have a few, boom bust type of players. I think Rodriguez is one of them. And then, the rookie JCM, Bill, he is a boomer bust. Not necessarily a boomer bust, but maybe boomer bust for this year, seeing what he can do. But that's kind of it for this video. I don't think this is a great room. It is, it's not like they don't have any players, but they definitely don't have a stud on this roster at the running back position, at least not yet. Hopefully, Bill can change that, and maybe he can be the stud for them. He's got good speed. He can do some things, but we're going to have to wait and see. But that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.